This tool is nothing but an algorithm which, if you follow, it will help you in potential IP identification as well as better research planning. So, starting with an idea. You know, the thinking mind, so many ideas pop up in your mind. It is not necessary that all the ideas which comes in your mind you consider for the project or you start working on it. You will take an example. Suppose you are, we will take that example, some example. Suppose you are working on some project, you are a project staff or you are a student and working on the project or you are a researcher and you are working on some of your research topic. How you should proceed so that you can identify the IP in your work, or you can consider it in other way, how you can plan your research so that at a particular time you think of filing the patent application. It may be a provisional patent or it may be a complete specification, whatever it may be. So, here the first thing is that the idea. Selection of idea from that pool of idea is the first task. Then the next task is that a prior art search. So, from the pool of ideas you have selected, okay, at this time I will work on this idea. So, the next step will be the prior art search. Now, you know what that prior art search is, what is the state of the art is, that terminology also you are aware about. So, it is your first duty, or rather we can say that it is mandatory now that before proceeding any research related activity you will check the prior art. That is the part of a literature review, right. It is nothing but a deep in-depth literature review. So, here normally you follow a literature review where you just go through the research papers or a magazines, whatever the published in the magazines, and that kind of publications you explore and try to understand what is the current scenario in your domain. But when now you are knowing about a patent, you should think about the patent also. So, you should go through the patent documents along with that research papers, magazines, newspapers, books, etc. In this way, you will do the prior art search, that is a primary requirement. Now, what is the advantage of that, or what will be the benefit out of this activity? You will get the idea about what is currently going on in your technology domain, what the work is going on. Now, once you know that state of the art, then you can plan your research activity. Many times you will experience that whatever you are thinking of exploring, through the patent search you realize that this work is already done. This may not be guessed by, you may not able to identify that thing with a research paper analysis, but probably the patent will help you to get this realization that okay, already this work is done, patent is filed. So, if such kind of thing is there, you can refine the research topic and the objectives, and after going thoroughly, then you can thoroughly through the patent documents, you can plan your research activity further, or you can plan your project activity. So, that is a second step. The next is a research activity. So, from the idea you have selected that one idea, now you have done the prior art search, now you have started your research, the experiment. So, whatever procedures, methodology you have decided, you have followed that, right. Now, the next is a invention disclosure. Now, generally what happens, that invention disclosure is a step in the research, and that is a very important step. You have to plan properly and you have to decide properly when you will give that invention disclosure. So, this is the point or a time during your research you feel that my research is going pretty well and it is well enough to file now the invention disclosure. So, that judgment you have to judge that thing and you have to file the invention disclosure. If you are a PhD student, or if you are a student doing a project, or you are working in a MSME, or you might be working in a R&D department of a corporate, or you may be a scientist working in a research laboratory, you have to review the timeline you have decided before starting the project. So, before planning that, before starting your research, you might have planned some activity, and at that time only you have to decide at what time you will file the patent, or probability of filing the patent is.